I'm Alex Pault, and I'd like to welcome you to an impromptu episode of Talking Timepieces, where we normally talk about watch collecting and horology. But today, I just wanted to send a love letter out to all of you who have supported me and watched me and followed me, because I've broken 600, actually at 650 followers, subscribers, which statistically I'm going to hit my 1,000 before the end of the year, which means we'll be able to participate in deeper discussions. And what I'm realizing by reading your comments and the conversations that we're having, not only on YouTube, but also on Instagram. I don't do Facebook because, well, I only talk about watches on this channel, so I hope that it can at least appeal to everyone, because there's no politics in watches, thankfully. Now, but my point is, what I wanted to do is, I just wanted to clarify my editorial direction. I've been in this industry a long time. I've spent a lot of time on both sides of the aisle. I've sold electronics. I've obviously bought electronics. But I worked at Radio Shack in Miami for a while when I first came back to the United States in 1997, and I was with my dear departed father after I had spent 17 years in Germany, my first time. I'm back in Germany since 2014, if anybody wanted to keep score. But I've been in the business of electronics literally on all sides. I've even worked over the counter at Radio Shack in Miami back in the late 90s. But what I've come away from it is that it's all about the people. One of the things I'm fond of saying at trade shows, because my day job, I'm a electronics engineering journalist. And I'm at trade shows, and we talk about technology all the time, obviously. And what I love to say is, you could take 1,000 cell phones and put them in the middle of a field and come back a month later, and all you got is a bunch of soggy boxes. Whereas you could take 10 people, empty their pockets, put them in a room, you come back a couple of hours later, and there's a market. Even if it's only based on promises for what they'll do in the future. But people make a market. People make an industry. Things don't make an industry. People make an industry. Okay? So I joined the watch community as a commentator about 2 years ago. And at least I did it before the coronavirus quarantine, so I wasn't one of the group that jumped into it because they were stuck home all the time. I was part of the group that jumped into it because I saw cool people like Teddy Baldassar and Adrian over at Bark and Jack, and of course Federico over at Federico Talks Watches and his partner. So I was part of that groundswell of commentators in the watch industry. And what made it gel for me is, as a tech journalist, I came from the user side. I was an electronics warfare radio traffic analyst, and I sold high-end audio to the American military during the Cold War after I got out of the military. So I've been to every military base in Germany in the old-timey days. But what I came away from is the same resonance of it's the people. It's the people. Things are just what we use to interact with people. And so I brought that perspective to the watch community, and I've gotten a tremendous, wonderful, warm resonance. And what can I say? I'm heartened and emboldened. And I brought 2 books to show you all and to say, give an example of where I'm going to go editorially with this. I sit in front of my watch collection. I sit in front of the case with all of my watches, not to flash, because you could literally take my entire collection and you couldn't get certain, like, you couldn't get a Girard Perregaux Constant Escapement. You'd have to sell my watch collection 2 to 3 times over to afford a Girard-Perregaux constant force escapement mechanism. Watch. So, no, I'm not flashing when I show my collection. I'm showing that I'm a collector. And I talk about the watches I know because I own them, and you can see I own them. They weren't just handed to me. And I tried that route. I had a little partnership with a person that gave me some watches from their shop, but they didn't like the fact that I didn't say, all shiny, happy things about it. So I'd rather be the person that talked about it than the person that gets paid to say nice, shiny things about it, because I don't need the money for this side of it, and I don't need the money for the other side of it as well, because I'm good enough in that side that I don't have to, watch my words either. But the books that I wanted to show you is, and I'm an editor, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and On the Road. Because watch collecting is a journey. Any hobby is a journey. Any collection is a journey. And if I can embody the philosophies in those two road books into this journey of watch collecting, and I'm going to actually do more philosophical horological pieces, because I do a lot of reviews because I have a lot of watches, but I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of resonance when I talk about watch collecting and my thoughts on watch collecting. And I want to encourage you to give me ideas on how to talk about watch collecting, because I'm not alone in this. As I said, things are just what we use to interact with people. Nobody gives a rat's ass what's on my wrist unless it's tied into the societal matrix that we all exist in as part of our flashy culture and the bone through the nose thing. I love horology, but I also recognize the fact that I got to rub blue mud into my belly button if I'm in that part of the world. So I wanted to just leave you with, and I realize this is running way longer than I expected, but I wanted to be honest and open with all of you, and let you know that I want to make this more of a philosophical watch channel, a channel that talks about why we collect, what's in the watches we are looking at, not just what the latest bling is or what the fanciest thing is, or what people are telling us what we should buy. Buy what you want. I'm going to do a complete separate video on that topic alone, but this was just to let you all know where I'm coming from, my editorial direction, my editorial philosophy, the wheelhouse I'm operating from, as it were. And I encourage you to provide feedback. And I appreciate if you've survived this long through this long exposition. But if you have and you resonate, please subscribe. And let's take this journey further together. Okay? Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.